It's time to look at some DLC fighters and let's see what DLC for Smash Ultimate holds. Block content. What's happening, my Blocked buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content. My name is Kellum. This is going to be your content for today, and I've waited a long time to talk about this. It's DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I thought I'd wait until a little bit later in the process to kind of talk about this DLC stuff. We now know that Piranha Plant is obviously going to be like the first released character that's not necessarily, real DLC, but it is free for everybody who, of course, pre-orders the game and then has the Fighter's Pass and all that kind of stuff. So put your Nintendo Gold points to good use and get Piranha Plant. And there are 5 other characters that are going to be joining the fray after the game is already released, right? So Nintendo has actually said that Fighter's Pass content is available as it is released. So all sets will be released through the end of February 2020, which is insane to me. I think that this would mean that we'll get, a few characters here, a few characters in the year after 2019 as well. So it's going to be pretty crazy. I think the final character will probably drop in that February. So I think we'll have 4 characters throughout the entirety of 2019, which is awesome. I think that it means that the game will stay alive a lot longer than we initially thought it would be. And also 5 DLC fighters is a pretty big deal to have it revealed already. I think people were looking forward to a longer lifespan for Smash Bros. Ultimate and kind of seeing it as sort of this, kind of what people expected Mario Kart 8 to be, as sort of a, hey, this is the almost reimagining of the franchise where we can just keep adding stuff, adding stages, because the mechanics are so good and they've, mastered them from over such a long time that it almost feels like this is the definitive version. And Smash Brothers Ultimate really feels like that to a lot of people already, right? Like, it has all the best stuff from Brawl, it has all the good stuff from Melee, kind of bringing some stuff back, but it's still very accessible. It has the biggest roster of characters possible in Smash Brothers up until this point, so it really feels like they're nailing that sense of it. So having this live on longer than any other Smash game has, until another one drops along, I think would have always been a good bet. Having not just 5 DLC characters, but just leaving it open, saying there's 5 coming for sure, but there's probably more. I think that that's actually what's going to happen. But to me, I just thought it would be really interesting to kind of go through what I think the whole process will be. How will DLC work in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? And to me, there's not that many crazy things that are going to happen here, but the Fighter's Pass is, of course, the way to get these things, and the Fighter Pass means 5 fighters, 5 new stages, and music tracks. Now, we don't know how many music tracks. We know that the music definitely corresponds to those things, which is a really great thing, which means if we get a character from Final Fantasy, we could possibly get more Final Fantasy music, right, than just 2 tracks in the game. That would really be good. I think that the Final Fantasy music must just cost a ton, to have in your game. Anywho, so this is really cool. I think that the amount of new stages that we got in Smash Bros. Ultimate, brand new things that we've not seen in any game before, and that's not a Final Destination or Battlefield version of something, that has been abysmal. I think there are way too little new stages in the game, so I kind of feel like these things were sort of a little bit planned. I know that companies like to say, this is the content that we develop after. I believe that this might have already been content that has been thought out long before and that has been created long before. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I think happened in this case, and then keeping a little bit of stuff back. I do believe that these 5 new stages will correspond to the characters and will be beautiful and awesome. I mean, if you think about the possibilities, the big characters that I think are going to have a place in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as far as DLC goes, I think one character in particular has to be in, and I think that is to be Geno. Geno is, of course, sort of a Square Enix character, but it's definitely a Mario character, but it's also one of those fan favorites. And I think the reason why I feel that Geno is going to be in this thing is not only did Geno get a Mii Fighter costume in the previous game, he didn't get it now. People are unable to find it in the game, in the data, anywhere. And also, there is a spirit, but spirits don't deconfirm anything. You know, Daisy has a couple of spirits. I think Mario has a ton, Pac-Man, so that doesn't deconfirm anything. And I feel like the way that this is going with Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's just getting that stage and that character together might feel a bit like a set, right? Like this has been, you know, meticulously created to go with each other. So if you think about a character like Geno, right, you would say, okay, so Mii costume, the Mii costume's not in the game now. Geno is Spirit, but, you know, they still got the rights to use that costume and the music, and where's that going? The stage could be the forest, so I don't really know. I think Forest Maze is music as a stage as well, and then Geno as a character, that would be incredible. I feel like that would be definitely one of those tags that you see here, the passes. I think one would be reserved for Geno, right? Now, if you look at the roster and you kind of feel these little holes fall in there, right? Like, well, shouldn't we be getting more from this? I think a character that I would love to see in this game, I think Donkey Kong Country as a franchise, the Donkey Kong franchise, has gotten a lot of love in this Smash Brothers game, and I adore it for that. I mean, the remixes are insane, beautiful. I think K. Rool adds so much to this game and has so much charm, but I feel like another great character, and a character that I feel like Nintendo would pick, which is the case with these DLC characters, right? Sakurai doesn't choose them, Nintendo does. Sakurai just stamps them, you know, he makes sure that they are able to fight. I feel like Cranky Kong would probably be a very great DLC character. Like, it would be a first-party Nintendo character, but it would be Cranky Kong. There's a lot of stuff that you could do there. You could do the Scrooge McDuck jump and stuff like that. So I feel like there's so much possibility with that franchise alone, and then having Cranky Kong, of course, fight King K. Rool. That would be absolutely insane. Now, do I think that there is going to be a Three Houses Fire Emblem rep? I don't hope so. I think that there's a lot of Fire Emblem representation in the game already. Thinking about Corrin, thinking about, you know, Robin and Roy and Marth, but, you know, we have Lucina and we have Chrom now. I mean, it is absolutely insane how much, like, anime sword fighters we have in this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those DLC fighters would be someone from Fire Emblem, but that's it. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, it wouldn't be a big leap, and it would be a marketing thing, which would also, you know, coincide with Nintendo's plans, of course. So I feel that, like, that's pretty likely. Now, as far as a retro rep goes, I have a feeling that they won't, I'll say in quotes, waste a slot on that in the DLC. I don't think that they'll add a character like Mach Rider or Balloon Fighter or Excite Biker or whatever in this DLC round. I just don't feel like it's happening. I think that as far as an NES representation goes, we actually have Simon in the game, which is completely amazing and awesome, and that fits that criteria perfectly well. So I don't feel like they're going to do that in the DLC round, right? If we're talking about real third-party, you know, knockouts, I think Banjo-Kazooie is going to be like everyone's favorite to go to. I feel like it's since that whole Grinch leak happened, I feel the chances of that are slimming down, right? So I would say right now my choice wouldn't be Banjo and Kazooie. If we're thinking about a third-party rep, I would almost say Rayman. I would almost say Rayman definitely has a shot this time, or, you know, some Rabbids kind of combo with Rayman or something like that. So that's high up there with me. I also think that a really cool choice would be X from Mega Man. I think Mega Man X would make a crazy cool DLC fighter and would make people talk about the game for ages. That character is very loved, could have an extremely different moveset from Mega Man, so it wouldn't be an Echo Fighter at all, have these awesome new abilities, be faster, be a taller version of him, you know, just definitely be something from that franchise, from the Mega Man lore, but, you know, be very different as well, and be able to use the sword, and just think of the final smash and the transformations that this guy could be doing. I think that would be a really great chance to do too. And if we're talking about third-party characters getting another rep, I think the Sonic franchise definitely deserves another character. However, it's so unlikely because we've got the two big ones, Knuckles, which would fit great into Smash with a moveset and everything, and also a character like Shadow, who is an assist trophy now too, I won't see anything like Tails happening. I don't think they'll do Dr. Eggman in you know, a flying machine. So I would rule the Sonic franchise out for now. I don't think that there will be a Pokemon rep as well. I feel like Incineroar was the big, you know, ender along with Ken. So for the, you know, the base roster. So I don't feel like that's going to happen anytime soon as well. For the Mario franchise, you could think about, you know, the weird stuff that, you know, Piranha Plant makes everyone think. You know, could there be Goombas? Could there be Koopa Troopas or whatever? No, I don't think that will happen at all. I would hope that Porky would be one of the characters from the Earthbound franchise. Was always a really great boss fight in Smash Bros. Brawl, and would definitely have a lot of moveset potential, be another villain in the roster, be very different from Ness and Lucas, which would be very, very welcome in the roster. Another kind of vehicle fighter like Bowser Jr. is. So that I think has a chance in there as well. So I don't really know if there's a lot of love from Nintendo for Earthbound, because I think we're still waiting on a certain game to come out, right? So I don't really know. As far as The Legend of Zelda goes, I feel like we've exhausted that right now too. I mean, if Skull Kid is still an assist trophy, then I couldn't really name any other character that deserves to be in Smash from that franchise, right? It would either be another Link, you know, Hero of Time Link, you know, Ocarina of Time Adult Link, something like that, and I don't think that they'll do that. Nobody wants them to, because there's 3 Links in the game now, which is insane. So that wouldn't be it for me. I think the Zelda franchise has been represented great in the game, even with all the assist trophies that we got, like Girahim, we got the Moon, we got Skull Kid, so Midnight even. So I don't feel like that's a possibility, that franchise. Now, we don't have to talk about Kirby. I think we've got well represented, and I think Waddle Dee could have been, you know, a big one for the game, but I think that having it as DLC would be a big letdown for people, you know, as an extra, you know, buy this character. So I don't really feel like that is going to happen. If it is, it's going to make a lot of people upset and a lot of people very happy. But having a divisive DLC pick, I don't think makes sense for Nintendo to do. So I don't think that something from the Kirby franchise at all would happen. If I think about Wario as a franchise, I could see them actually adding a character like, you know, a Dr. Crygor or some, you know, Mona or someone just out of left field, right? I don't know if Cat and Anna are assist trophies in the game. I'll have to look. Probably they are. That those two would have been great as like a pair, you know, 2 Ninja Warriors. Other than that, I think Ashley would be the most likely one, and she's also an assist trophy. So Nintendo shot themselves in the foot with, you know, all those DLC choices out there. I don't think that a Wario character would happen either. Now, Kid Icarus, I don't think that there's any possibility there. Magnus, you know, I think is an assist trophy already. So characters like that, I think won't happen at all. The Metal Gear franchise, we're very, very happy to have Snake. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's where it ends. And as far as other franchises go, like Pikmin, I definitely don't see someone like Louis making the cut. And I don't see another retro rep or anything like that. In the Star Fox franchise, we've exhausted that as well. If Crystal's not in, then we're definitely not getting Slippy Toad or Peppy Hare, so I don't feel like that's a possibility. I think from the Punch-Out franchise, there's not much you can do there. There are characters like King Hippo that could make a great fighter, but I feel like that's 2 Smash games down the road, right? To go that far down the barrel, to kind of find maybe there's a character from Punch-Out that you once fought that would be good. I mean, they fleshed a couple of characters out very well in the Wii version, so in that sense, I would love to see some back, but I don't think for now that would be the greatest choice that they could make. As far as Xenoblade goes, sure, Rex and Pyra, they make complete sense, and Sakurai almost felt sorry for the character. Like, I would add you this second, but I didn't have you in the project plan, but I could add you as DLC though. Like, we're getting the costume. I feel like that could definitely be a thing. I'm cautious for it though, because we got the costume, so it feels like that was like, oh well, you guys are happy now. Nintendo itself would not be very likely, out of all the franchises they could represent, they would not choose Xenoblade, I don't think. So if we think about Street Fighter or, any other, third-party franchise like Bayonetta, I don't feel like that's going to happen either. I think we're happy to have Ken, and as far as Bayonetta goes, I think that's as much representation for a playable fighter that you need. For Inkling, I could see Octolings, but you can't go a lot weirder with the moveset. So for me, it'd have to stay Inkling, right? And I think further down the line, I don't think Animal Crossing is getting another rep. I think Isabelle is as far as you could go with that as well. And maybe finally we'll get like a Smash representation, like a character that originated from Smash Brothers. So maybe a fighting Alloy or a Polygon team member. Maybe we'll get one of the hands, right? So that's definitely a possibility as well. I'm really, really curious what you guys feel like is in the cards for DLC. Put it down below, because we'll be, answering your comment questions and reading your answers out loud in the video. So I'm very excited what you guys put down below. Our previous comment question comes from Avenger360 saying, "Why do people keep saying that spirits deconfirm characters? I mean, they're basically saying that their characters won't get in. So that means if BWD, Geno, Scissor, Course Kids, Paper Mario, Raymek, Raijo, Ashley, and Shantae are all spirits, does that mean they won't be fighters? Probably not, because they're already spirits for fighters such as Daisy, King K. Rool, and Ridley, so don't expect spirits to deconfirm stuff." Well, I really like your picture with the little Course Kit there. Thank you so much for sending in your comment. I agree. I don't think that spirits deconfirm characters at all. It would be very sad because there's a lot of, big possibilities up there. So thank you guys so much for all the love for the channel. It's been great to grow beyond 18K, and let's just head on to 20K. That's going to be like a really big thing. So really hope we'll get that soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, remember, we have a giveaway for a Smash Brothers Ultimate Pin. Put down your comments right now, because we're really shipping this thing very soon. The game is almost upon us. It's just a few days, so let me know in the comments what you deserve that pin. And of course, we are on Patreon. If you want to support us for just $1 a month, you'll be in the club, the blocked content, blocked buddies, you'll be part of us. So I really hope that you guys join the team, because we'll be able to make a lot more videos. You can actually request some videos. We have 2 brand new members to the team, which are Diego Rodriguez and Christopher Way. So thank you guys so much for joining. We're actually a really big team now, which is so cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, just click that subscribe button. All the news and all that fun you care about will be delivered daily to you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more Blocked Content. See ya.